My why is my husband.
My why is definitely all 4 of my children.
My why is living life to the fullest with my family.
I have another why is my granddaughter.
My why is I'm here and doing all this for my family. If I broke down, everyone else would.
Steve's grandparents died in their 40s of heart disease, and his father, when he was 62 years old, had a mild heart attack. My dad also died of a heart attack 5 months later at 62. Steve's always been relatively healthy, in fact, almost annoyingly healthy. He took care of himself because he knew heart disease ran in his family. When he was walking, he would get numbness in his left arm.
I knew something wasn't right. I had the arm pain. I had some tightness in my chest. I was starting to sweat some. I just knew something was very wrong. And it was really the intuition of my cardiologist nurse that she said, don't send him home, even though I had a false negative in my nuclear stress test. We didn't know it at the time, but her intuition said he needs to stay in and have a cath Monday morning, because this was right at the weekend. And God bless her, because she was right.
45 minutes later, the volunteer said, the doctor wants to speak to you. My husband was in critical condition, and he was this close from having a massive heart attack, and they didn't know if he'd make it through the night. All 5 of his arteries were critically blocked, and he did have 5 bypasses first thing in the morning if he survived. I wasn't ready to be a widow. I was too young. I told him, you have to fight. You have to fight. We have grandchildren to spoil. You have 2 daughters to walk down the aisle. At one of his checkups 5 years after his open heart surgery, there was a small 1 millimeter tumor discovered inside his heart.
When they told me I had the tumor, I was shocked and yet bewildered also, because I had never heard of anybody having a tumor inside their heart.
And after a year, it was the size of a golf ball, and it was critical where you had to get it removed where it could break off and be sudden death. So Steve endured second open heart surgery to have the tumor removed from the inside of his heart.
When Daisy was diagnosed with leukemia, I was overwhelmed.
She was home for 5 weeks, and then she went into congestive heart failure with chemo-induced cardiomyopathy.
For someone so young to be going through all she's gone through, it's very tough. And you would trade places with him, you know, if God would let you. I told him that. No child should have to go through that.
She wasn't a candidate for a heart transplant because she was too close to cancer. So the only option we had with Daisy was the Heartware LVAD pump, and it was very risky. Most children don't have an LVAD pump. It's mostly older adults.
It seemed as though the severity of dysfunction that she had with her heart relative to her chemotherapy was earlier and worse than we typically see. So that was the first thing that was unusual or interesting. But now what we have seen is that with the support of the device that she's had now for essentially a year, her heart function has recovered, such that now consideration is being given not to transplant, not to long-term support with this device, but in fact actually removing it and allowing her to go forward in her life
The LVAD has changed my life because I've always just wanted to be a normal teenager, and this thing helps me be normal like everyone else. I hope that people who have heart problems stay positive, because I honestly think that being positive helps you survive.
Thank you for all of your help. The LVAD pump has allowed her heart to heal.
We are so blessed in this country to have an organization like the American Heart Association to keep progressing and finding new careers and better ways to save more lives. It's going to take your help with money and support, and I want to thank you all for being here tonight.